More than rest I would bring you, or tender respite. More than sweet gathered sleep, a flood in my arms. More than breath deep instilled with the headiest bouquet, or wisest verse of scripture spoke in holy law. More than a warmth drawn from sun's kindest kisses, I would bring more than the last tear dried by the fire. More than two lovers enwrapped in the touch of each other, or an army devoted to guard at your door. More than days of eternity, time held in wonder, all moments complete, filled with everything known. More than absence of doubt, a whole world of certainty, whose life's only purposes set you before. Midst of a realm bathed with everlasting caresses, I would bring you to beauty that all these possesses. There's something in that, hoping to go below the surface of the word and to touch on the emotional impact beauty can have on us. The comfort, the solace, the hope, the rapture, the being where we are. And it's as if beauty is a place to be, or a way of living. It's as if it were breath, an in-breath of But then we come to our own sense of our own beauty. And some of us, I know, will have lived with all beauty almost foisted onto them. And some of us will have lived without any sense of beauty in us at all. And sometimes it seems like our own personal beauty is something that's given to us by somebody else. Something we're almost dependent upon others for. So you might think me beautiful, you might say so. And I would need to take an active step to accept it and to trust it. And not be thinking, oh yeah, but you don't know about that, and what about this, and look at this spot, and I smell. So this one is about that sense of somebody else gifting you with your beauty. You've made me beautiful. At first it settled on me like a foreign weave, a shroud in preparation, dressing me fit for someone else's gaze. It landed on my skin, too rankled, spiked like a cat's back, with fragility. Then I saw it was your hand, slightly scarred from needlepoint, that bore the weight of this cloth of light, had stitched the seam and shaped the loose, ill-fitting into glove and sleeve, into tailored waist and shoulder touch. Then, inch by inch, and with the fastening of ties, easy flip of button, tender hand on a chest, to smooth the last of a wrinkle, with the brush of a kiss to remove lost hair, tired dust, and awkward fall of newfound clothing. I stood before an inner mirror, in a beauty never known, well-dressed, self-impressed, drawn from your eye. it can take an effort to accept that offer of beauty from someone else. And as often is rejected. And it's easy to understand why sometimes also, apart from our own sense of self-worth, sometimes it can feel like you're seeing something beautiful, but are you seeing me? And not quite believing it for that reason. Is what you're seeing almost a glamour over what I am, obscuring me? But there is something also about beauty being given, beauty being in our eye, as if we throw beauty out onto someone and they can accept it or not. And along with it, a sense of, oh, you're the beautiful one, I'm not. Yes, all the beauty is in you, and not necessarily having any back to keep to ourselves. And one other thought before I read this one is also that what a strange power it can be to be beautiful and to turn heads and to have people like you purely for your looks. Something you may not understand, but or even though you might see the consequence and accept it. And of course, the feeling of vulnerability and fear that this undeserved, perhaps misunderstood superpower might drain away. So this one's called Let Me Be. I have drawn looks from the older men and women in the day. I have drawn looks and kisses from girls of foreign lands. I have had homely ones break into blossom when I look their way. I have had brawn men in crowds offer me their hands. But as you play your final note, step to the crowd to bow. Let me be beautiful now, my lady, let me be beautiful now. When I gathered up the broken bird, she did not fly away, but settled on my palm. And as her fever ran, gazing on my face, she sighed to find a re-emerging day. And from a mended breast and rescued wing, she sang. I was a beauty then, but long days come around. Let me be beautiful now, O Lord, let me be beautiful now. I danced with the distant fairy in the wood, come close from away, that often hid. But all my grace drew them to my hand, dancing on the curve of trees, each vying to be fair as day, as fair as I, in an unending destiny of summer land. I passed from that place to mortal earth and time's blow. But let me be beautiful now, you fair one, let me be beautiful now. As I approach, the gathered crowd unheeding, thread my ways on tattered step to say hello and offer up my peeling hand, present the remnants of my face, holding all my days, so very unsure of what I have still to offer or command to you who carry no expectation. What have I to show? So just let me be beautiful now, sweet lords and ladies. Let me be beautiful now. When I say about offering somebody their beauty, it's hard to know, of course, whether it's your own projected onto them, and that may be why they refuse it. or it may be their own refusal to own their own beauty. But either way, that's worked into this next poem, which is called And Though She Would Not Consider Her Beauty, Such Was His Love. Perhaps I should have given it to the moon, she who gives back the light shone upon her face, she who looms at times like a planet falling, she who will turn her back and give you space. That cycle of self-love leaves her still the dry and barren, lightless rock thrown into the dark. Reflective catcher of gold turns it to silver, all shadows grown. I gave it to you because you are shy at night, and you know the shadow cast upon the day. And there was something in the wanting that I couldn't have, only an impossible love would satisfy. And perhaps I wanted it should flower there, where water never ran, but kept in jars all alabaster purity, ever falling, ever fleeing, ever pocked with hurtled stone impact scars. Sight is ever deceptive, and older days taught how we throw it from our eyes and catch again reflective. Not wrong, though science in all literalness rejected such metaphor for a thought defective. I gave it to you, shone onto greater void, and you evaded. Fair enough. You thought I shone onto what was never there. And some has fallen onto orbiting dust, and some into eternity has gone, to find itself turned again at the edge of all there is. Perhaps then it will fall upon myself with shy forgiveness. I wonder if sometimes our refusal to believe ourselves beautiful is the thought of it somehow obscuring the truth of us, as if our knowing that we are not perfect, not unflawed, will mean that we can't accept somebody whose view of beauty may well include those flaws. I've felt myself at times, hello, you're not seeing me, you're seeing some glamorized version of me. This is perhaps yourself thrown over me. And if I were to show you this or show you that, you would consider me far from beautiful. So these next two do touch a bit on that sense of beauty being considered beautiful as being something obscuring. And perhaps most sharpest when it marked you as an object of desire, so that all you can feel really is the other's desire and none of their actually seeing you. Flows away. All the beauty they dressed us in, I wanted it. I want it still, like a waterfall falling eternal. Adoration lands like a waterfall, thumping like thumbs into skin. With no grip, it pours away again. We catch at the new like a breath, the old is so downstream. Make a splash, hide the rock, I was never the light shining on me. Yes, there's a rainbow over, under. The pool is forced into deeper shadow. And this last one draws further on that a little bit, of it being something obscuring. But also goes back to some of the earlier things I was saying about beauty being something that is actually shared, in the sense of, if I see it in you, then it helps if I see it in me also. And that is actually a place or a way of being that we can both be in, each as beautiful as the other. And I called it "You Two Are Beauty." Beauty creates a need for nothing more. It is complete. And all who wish completeness find it in that sweet store. Why should they think to see the shaded child beneath? For beauty has a need for nothing more than to be seen or heard or felt upon the tongue, upon the inner breath, or else be lost and never last. The child starves. Beauty to itself may well be blind, may never hold within its eye the gaze that leaves the passing stranger so amazed they leave no arms, feel no need to be kind. Starved or full, beauty's face denies or feeds, gives nothing to the giver, asks for nothing from the finder, and both are left the poorer, unless they each share their own beauty with the other. Beauty creates a need for nothing more than to accept it within one's own store. If I think you beautiful, I should also think myself so. If you think I'm beautiful, and so are you.